Hello folks, this is Donald Standeford. I was tempted to use the computer voice. I'm having a hard time with my voice, so I hope you'll bear with me. Please like, rumble, or follow, or whatever is fitting. Here goes. I wrote a little piece here. It's kind of a poetic piece, also political. The traitor works behind the scenes, a shadow, but somehow he is never shadow banned. The traitor stalks the shadow of a traitor, sits in the cellar near his supercomputer. He daydreams of a future when the country he hates will suffer a fall as he arises. Obama? Well, he is not American. No true American or patriot hates his own country. Americans do not despise American dreams. No patriot hates the United States Constitution or throws "we the people's" rights away. Bad Barack assumes the Bill of Rights is a bill of sale for an entire nation. Shady Sale should have bought title coverage. Didn't realize we'd need it to save ourselves from popular leaders who are bound for prison cells. Is the war really finished? You didn't complete it. You signed the bill of sale and expected you had closed the deal. All is properly done, but you didn't get our guns. I wonder, when you sold your woke soul, and how much you sold it, and us, for. The hisses slip through forked tongues. The villain's scream just grinds your mind. The devil's voice explodes in scorn. No comfort at all in his heckling call. Spirits approach you as patient shades. Patient, for they have all eternity to play. The ribs on the coals, the legs, the bosom, the feet. Why is their skin so heavy and scaled? Their skin is hard as the air is empty. And what moment did they slaughter our Bill of Rights? Yet all you can do is make us wear masks. That's all you can manage? You burn inside. Your lungs can't draw air of such steam. Sulfur stinks and your body reeks. Your thin fingers wrote that suicide note. It burns a hole in your evil soul. You spit out the sparks and inhale deep sulfur. 10,000 years and not one day closer. The stink of sulfur. I know no sleep. Death is not ending anything. It's never finished. You just continue dying. All you crave is the simple things, a drop of wet water, such a strange daydream. Hope is silvery, searing pain, dank black death. It's a serious plague that never resolves, and the dying meat you cannot eat. I felt the python gazing through your sleek, steely eyes. Warlock irises tell only lies. The python hypnotizing that crafty serpent once tempted Eve. They consider you inconsequential, but where went your immortal mind? How can you stand up and lie to your own kid from Scranton? All-American lad, Joey, your soul cannot be seen in your eyes. The python's hypnotic gaze lulls in loathsome and weak. It drains their breath and chokes all it despises. It despises a lot. Happiness dies. You live in its shadow, but you'll pay for its sins. Joey, where went your mortal eyes? The python lives within your mind. The steel black stare is not you. Its gaze goes on past you, Joey. Is the fellow still there? The youngster from Scranton, the all-American boy. Rattle your brains. Is there anybody in there, Joey? Your chance is disappearing. Do not tempt God. You've accomplished enough of that. The falling rain forms a gentle sound against the mud ground. Amazing grace is on my lips. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no fewer days to sing God's grace than when we first begun. Yet I will cry for all I know who were thrown into eternal anguish, where there is wailing and gnashing of teeth, where the worm never dies and the pain never ceases. There is only that mourning for those who suffer. That I can do for you, Joe Biden. It isn't much, but it's all I shall have the power to do. It does not have to be. God wants to throw no one into the lake of fire. Those in eternal bliss will celebrate an astounding marker when we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun. In my mind rings that joyous melody, amazing grace, wonderful song, created for me so long ago. It was not for me solely. I grieved the matter once I was blind. Regret for sin flows through my conscience yet. Amazing love, I roam this world intent on heaven, unafraid of hell finally as well. Joey, what about your immortal mind, your soul? You stand before us and deceive, but that won't restore your broken mind, nor will it make you the man you never could become. That chance you gave up on a long while ago, didn't you, Joe? Surely you must know. You are the beast, you know. You are him. You are the python struggling again to make your mark and piss on our graves. But the beast cannot come. It's not the beast's day. The beast struggles, deranged and determined to arrive. He still cannot break the barrier of pain. God has put a wall in front of the monster. He cannot force his mark upon humankind. He shall arrive someday, but not this time. If the beast has given up and gone, what will his servants do to you, Joe? Don't you know they will feed you to the wolves? In an instant they'll strike. They'll use you however they can to pave the way for their escape. You will mean nothing to them. How is it, Joe? How does it taste? To suffer the world through a monster's view, a demon's stare controls your mind. Can you not understand it has captured you too? Hypnotic, hypnotic, hypnotic November? Lord, if I'm not true to you, then change me. I am pledged to do your purpose. If I fall, what good am I to you? Once I revolted. Many revolt, though your offer is for their gain. I had absolutely no positive opinion of you. You moved my heart, attuned to my soul, awakened my mind, and made me whole. I cringe when I think of how close I came to meeting death without knowing your name or what you did for me on the cross for my liberty. The one who loves, you came to me, Lord. You entered my soul. Lord, my hands reach out to you. I will, my conscience, my being to you, the savor of wine, your healing bread. My disgrace is all you request in compensation. My sins are all washed clean. Your grace is great. Your grace is grander than anything anybody could ever have or crave. I know it's bona fide. How could I have repudiated you? Joey Bribes, there's still hope for you. I felt the python demon in you. Once I endured in hopeless sin. Now I'm in. Joey, you look at the beast too, didn't you? Of course you did. You looked up at his high up head, forked tongues hissing. It extends above you and suggests you desire. You are cornered. There's no path out. But Joey, it is a liar. Its soul still somewhere. You yet have hope. The python says that you are tired. It resonates within your head. It worries you. You like its power. It charms you hour by hour. Act now, Joe. Your hour is at hand. You must move now. You cannot break from the python demon, but God is near. He will break you clear. God is ever near. Do not let the python kiss you with enticing words, and then cover you around with its turns and twists, your breathless lungs, quicken your nerves. You are the beast for a spell. Don't you understand? You will share that monster's hell. I think you almost were the beast, almost him, but the beast's hour has not yet arrived. You felt him in you, though, didn't you? You felt the python, too. Just think, Joey Bribes, you still have a good chance given to you. God has offered his good grace to you and all the rest of humanity. If you're above ground and not 6 feet under, you can still will your soul to heaven's grace. You can, Joe, flee the serpent, its hell, its hole of seething, venomous demon, horde, and hate. Don't you declare you miss him, Joe? He's not here for you. He doesn't make you better. He is more evil and repulsive than you. Don't say you miss him, or you miss the collapse of a man turning upright again. Don't miss it, Joe, because you don't know where the snake will lead you to. There is nothing new under the sun. We merely discovered the traitorous things that have been going on for quite some time, disturbing things that happened while we were asleep. Somewhere in our deafness and slumber, our democracy was grabbed by treacherous hands. It was nearly stolen, yet God appeared and brought in a bright light into the sin of our situation, its traps, its deceits, and dark betrayals and lies. We rise up now, alarmed and awake, and rousing to our almost fate. We meet the scorn, and now we confront you, detestable hate. Luciferians, they like their authority, for it seems they rise up hour after hour to harm and destroy those they hate for little reason. The mysterious ones are the woke, who just hide or mock the ones who intent on defending them from treacherous haters of our democracy. With ill intent they steal our bread, but cannot touch the bread God broke for us, his living word. They get the wine, but the blood runs freely. It flows freely for humanity. They can touch the wash. They cannot affect a reluctant heart. Their containers float idly by, but they do not come to the seaboard. Hundreds of ships hang in the California harbor. Nobody's home, Joe. Nobody's home. In the Biden camp, they are rabid bats with venom dripping from their sharp-shaped fangs. So many avoidable deaths by COVID. Dr. Fauci spins his data. Millions die at his watch, but it's his torturing of puppies that checks and mates him. Even mainstream news can't save you now, Fauci. You torture puppies. You let them be devoured alive by bugs, you Nazi thug. Dishonest judges, both state and federal, guard the doors that lead to breakthrough. Those once blind as certainty are now merely gatekeepers for the rich's bitter and humanity's disgraceful lot. The FBI provides another layer of protection. Top-level generals in the Department of Defense work with most of the House to crush some, imprison others unjustly. Hope might as well die if it cannot live in a dead man's eyes. Lock and load, because it's time. The booster makes you weak from illness, for it's just more of the planned pandemic, and impedes your blood's immunity. It's a bust. Lock and load. You're aroused and provoked. The sky awaits our personality. Still the chill still settles in. Muscles stiffen. Once I cut, but now I'm clear. My wrist no longer confined. How you die and bled for me. Once I daydreamed a fog, a misted scene, a sun alone, my coat covered by my frightened soul. I felt merely that I craved to restore my mind. Now I so easily slip into being. Alone in the fog I did not perceive, too young for revelations, too tired to be alone. I played children's games. I was ill in my mind. The hemp held my larynx. It was tangled and twined like the boa to gag. It's hard to think of a mature adult being when you are in a rut. I struggled to grip onto that one twig of the bush that would not burn. Though afire with the great I Am, I found him in the passion of spiritual authority. He cleansed me and strengthened me. He did not scorch me, though he burned fiery flames that ignited my soul and gave me the ability to do miraculous things. I am complete and whole. Wake up, bud. You fell asleep on the couch again. You're like a stuck housefly. You got 6,000 eyes. You still cannot see the web. Flies that spot colors, but to a spider's net are nearsighted, simple to trap and easy to tie up with strands of death twine. So foolish. We carry white-tipped canes, and we scoff that there is no light. We can't see it or touch it. Let me ply you with wine, says the essence of obscurity, to put us in line. Snort this white dust, and now I've made you forever mine. Create your own white powder mixture. Cure your disease. Be like the pillow guy before he started sewing seams. I left that all behind, my friend. It's no lie. I discovered another avenue. I tossed the cane aside. I felt the loving light. I recognized that there was better than night. There was more past the dreaded valleys and shadows of death. I saw the grass grown green by the river's side. The pits dropped low, the boulders blocked the way. Rising, jagged, rock-hard cliffs rose into cold, wet mists. Clouds that passed dropped their rain. Not the clouds of my jagged past. Those hid entire cities and countless towns that smothered you further into the depression of man. That hour I died to be born again. I broke into pieces at the foot of the cross. The past long century was a colossal lie. I sang truth songs on the hill of Golgotha. All along I had known the meter, melody, and rhyme, and had known the song. All I wanted then was to sing it all day. I did, and all night long I sang for my Savior. I sang in my new life, in the presence of my King. I apologize if I can barely talk right now, but I did my best. Make a note if you think that I should do it in a computer voice instead.